Here's how I fixed my sleep. I thought I was doing everything right. I was getting 7.5 hours of sleep. I was waking up every single day, doing all the Andrew Huberman things, getting daily sunlight. I still felt tired, and I didn't know what was wrong. And it wasn't until I started tracking this one specific metric that has helped me get rid of all my tiredness and help me get back into a healthy rhythm of sleep. So in this video, I want to share the 3 things that I did that has helped me get my sleep back on track. I'm Wesley Tran, by the way, an executive coach that helped busy professionals like you get their time and energy back by developing these healthy rhythms. So let's get right to it. The first thing I did was track my sleep debt. So sleep debt is the cumulative the culmination of the past 2 weeks, and what you are feeling today is the result of how you slept in the past 14 nights. So I downloaded this app called Rise. I'm not being paid by them, but this is a good review of their product, and it helps me track my sleep debt and follow my own circadian rhythm. So how I started tracking my sleep initially was I had an Apple Watch, and it tracked just my normal sleep. So it saw how much core sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep I was getting, how many hours I was awake over at night. And overall, I was getting on average throughout the year 7.5 hours. So I thought that was pretty good. But it wasn't until I learned that sleep debt, all those 7.5 hours eventually added up. And by the time that I downloaded the app, it had 366 days of data that I was a day and a half behind. My sleep debt was at 13 hours. And my body acted like it was a day and a half behind. And I hated that feeling. I wanted to be well rested. And I knew that, like, if I had a genie that I could ask it anything, it would be to get this tired feeling out of the way. So I knew I had to fix this problem. So with Rise, I was able to see the sleep debt, and it gave me a plan to correct that sleep debt. So the big thing was being able to sleep in my optimal time window. It gives it this melatonin window of when the body actually wants to sleep. So I thought I was doing pretty well at 9:15 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. And apparently that wasn't enough. So the normal human body needs about 8 hours of sleep, and I wasn't getting that. So my melatonin window has shifted back to 8:15, almost an hour earlier. But over the past 14 days that I've been doing that, I just felt a bigger quality of sleep, and I've been able to get a surplus of sleep to get rid of that sleep debt. So that was the biggest thing for me, was to be able to track my sleep debt and sleep in my optimal time window and get that quality sleep. And it was hard because throughout this time, the challenges that I faced, it was just waking up in the middle of the night. I was doing all these Andrew Huberman things like NSDR, getting magnesium supplements and melatonin. It just wasn't working. But I just had to follow my body's natural biology. So I really like this app for that feature, giving me a set plan on what to do. So the only thing I don't like about the app is that its subscription is an annual subscription. I was hoping for monthly because I don't like making commitments, but because I've been tracking my sleep for so long, like 5+ years, I felt comfortable making this commitment. And it's only $70 for an annual commitment. I just hate that word commitment, but I find it useful for me. So it's only been about 2-3 weeks for me compared to the whole year, but this is how I've been able to get my sleep debt to about 4 hours right now. So now I'm only half a day behind compared to the day and a half, and I feel so much more vibrant and exuberant because of it. So the next tip that I have is getting a strong morning routine in. So this is part of the cycle as well, the circadian rhythm of when my body needs to wake up. So I've been waking up around 5:30 in the past 2 years, and I love it. I love rising early. I put on these Christian meditation videos to get me in the zone, get me in the right mood to start my day. And so now that I get roughly 9 hours of sleep a night, I get that extra surplus. I feel good. And part of the app too tells me when to get that blue light in. And blue light is important because that's the body's signal for when to wake up. Because my room's pitch dark, and typically the natural blue light we should be getting is from the sun. But if I'm waking up at 5:30, that's super early, that's way too dark. So the thing I have is this SAD lamp, the seasonal awareness disorder awareness effective. It's like the winter depression lamp. So it looks like a tablet, and it shines this really bright light at my face when I wake up. So it's a great alternative for me because I can't get the sun until about 7:30. So it triggers my body at 5:45 to wake up. And then throughout the day, I'll do like a cold shower. I love cold showers. I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's such a great way to jumpstart my day. And that's what gets me going. So this morning routine is important to start the circadian rhythm because in about 15 hours, it's going to make my body tired around 7, 8 o'clock, which is when I want to fall asleep. So that leads me to my third tip, which is developing a good evening routine as well. So in that evening routine, I have these blue light glasses that I have. So ideally, we could live in a world where we don't have screens and we could get good sleep. But I confess that I'm addicted to screens. I love watching YouTube and sports before going to sleep, so I can't get rid of that. But what it can do is minimize the damage that it's causing, so I bought these blue light glasses. And they're great because I've noticed the quality of my sleep becoming a lot better. So with the screens at night, it triggers the blue light, so it would trigger your body into being awake. But with the blue light glasses, it filters those out, so they don't trigger the melatonin. They don't suppress the melatonin that your body's trying to release. And then that's my melatonin window. It's this 1 hour window between 7:45, 8:45 where I have to fall asleep. And that's where I can get my good quality sleep. So I make sure that when I'm winding down, that everything's pitch black. I make sure not to drink enough water before, or too much water before, because I don't want to wake up and use the restroom. And it is a ritual. I treat it holy because I want to be able to get good quality sleep. And that's how I've been able to do it. The circadian rhythm, this whole morning routine and evening routine, it's all a cycle because you have a good morning routine, you can have a good evening routine, and overall, you just have a good day. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I hated feeling tired, and good sleep is just a performance enhancing drug that it's so hard to have a bad day when you have good sleep. And I know for you as a busy professional too, it's just hard to get sleep. And for me, that means saying no to a lot of social events, a lot of activities, but it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make so that I can at least catch up on my sleep. And then I could sacrifice it on the weekends a bit. So that's how I've been able to catch up on my sleep, be able to fix my sleep, because it was a mess. I thought I was doing pretty great compared to my friends, but it turns out that I was a day and a half behind. So thank you so much for listening. And those 3 things that I want to conclude with: make sure you're tracking your sleep debt, have a solid morning routine and a solid evening routine. And with those things, that's what's helped me get my sleep debt back close to 0, under 4 hours, and just feel energetic again. So I'm Wesley, an executive coach, and if you're interested in working with me, you can click here on the link down below, and it'll take you to my Calendly where you could schedule a quick one-on-one intro call. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.